Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Sportsman's Warehouse, and Barton Power Sports.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray here in Memphis, Tennessee. We're rolling into our 16th year on the air every Saturday morning, 90 minutes. Greg Ratliff is our show producer, and, of course, this is the second Saturday of the month, this September the 10th, and that means that Ron Wong, my fishing guru, is in the house with me.
Good morning, everybody. Boy, it is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. The weather is getting ready to break. The fish are biting. The ducks, or the wood ducks and the teal, are flying. Squirrels are running all over.
Oh, we're going to talk about that later.
We got a great segment coming up a little bit later about that.
Yeah.
And, of course, dove season is open. So, for all you hunters, get out there into the woods, onto the water, have fun. For all you fishermen out there, let's get out there and enjoy the water that is cooling down finally.
Hey, this guy's coming on with us now knows all about water that cools down. Okay.
Yes, he likes
his
to
water
fish.
Cools down. In fact, it ices over.
Yeah, but I got to tell you,
I like to talk to people up there.
He loves to catch one of my my favorite fish to eat.
It is.
Walleyes.
We're back to food.
Oh my gosh.
Tony Roach, we talk food a lot on this show. I'm sorry it just comes into the conversation without thinking anything, but glad to have you on Outdoors with Larry Ray. Tony Roach, he has a Roach's Guide Service, and I did not know, Tony, when we were setting up this interview to talk about Rapala's new products that are coming out, and I thought I had one for Ron over there, but I'm assuming I've still got it at my house.
Yeah, I guess so. So that means I'll come over and get it.
Yeah, I guess we have. But thank you for being on with us. And how's everything in the north today?
Everything's doing well. Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, and we're going to talk walleye a little bit here. And I've got to ask, Tony has got a guide service. I did not realize that your nephew, you are the nephew of Mr. Walleye himself.
I am the nephew of Mr. Walleye.
I did not know that you were the nephew of Gary Roach. I'm not holding that against you or anything, but
he's certainly a legend in the walleye world.
Wow,
absolutely,
yeah. I mean, how did that? So is he your dad's? How's this brother, or what is this?
Yeah, so Gary's my great uncle. We grew up fishing. My dad fished tournaments. All the Roaches fished.
Yeah.
Gary, obviously, most of the modern day techniques that we use, he crafted and
he did it.
Kind of him and among a few others really kind of paved the way for walleye anglers like myself. So we're just expanding upon it. I mean, there's a lot of great products out here and a lot of great techniques that are just an expansion of what Gary and a lot of the other guys did and perfected.
Tony, talking about all these wonderful products that are out now. Rapala has the new slab wrap that's come out. That's so excellent to use and so easy to use. Talk about the new slab wrap.
Yeah, so what I like about the slab wrap, it's half jig, half crankbait. It's,
that's a great idea.
It's kind of a unique bait in itself that it has a kind of a slower fall, but as soon as you rip that bait, it's got a real loud vibrating chamber. It looks a lot like a lipless crankbait of sorts, except it's got a little bit different curve to it. You can fish it like a lipless crankbait. It falls slow. It's great for, fishing the edge of weed edges or, shallow rock piles or wherever the wind's blowing in. You can cast it out there, retrieve it back. But what I like doing is pitching it out there, letting it fall, and then rip it, let it fall, rip it, let it fall, and those fish just can't resist it. They almost always hit it on the fall, especially walleyes. They'll sit in those weed pockets or they'll sit on that wind-blown edge, and you can just cast that thing right along the edges of of the structure and just work it back to the boat. But it really fishes like a jig. It fishes like a crankbait. You can troll it. You can cast it. You can vertical jig it. You don't necessarily need to cast it. You can vertical jig right below the boat.
Wow.
It's a real versatile bait, and it's deadly on everything. I've caught lots of crappies on it, bluegills, bass,
for
of course,
us in
lots
the
of
South,
walleyes.
for us in the South, crappie, bluegills, bass are the predominant fish that we catch here. But this particular bait, one of the things that I really like about it is because the fish are moving shallow here in the South now, getting ready for wintertime. This particular bait and the size of it, one of them, they have a 1.5 inch and a 2 inch size in this bait. And the thing about the fish in the Mid-South area now, they're eating that size bait because, they're eating this year's spawn of the shad. And golly, what a great way to do it. And because of the size and the weight, you can fish it slower and create a lot more strikes when it's necessary. But
it's all about matching the hatch, and that bait, like you said, is not only the same size, but the colors that Rapala has come out with in those particular baits, shad, blue chrome, yellow perch, crawdad. I mean, you name it, the colors, they've nailed it. So you couple that with the size factor, you truly are matching the hatch.
I like this. They got 10 colors. Ron knows I'm big on colors, and and when I come back in my next life, I'm going to be the person that names all the lures. You're going to
name the colors.
I'm going to love the colors because I like chrome blue, glow hot perch, glow tiger. Now that would be a good one here in Memphis, the University of Memphis. They could have their own official Rapala fishing lure.
Maybe it'll help them get into the Big 12.
Let's don't even get into that, okay? All right, but they got 10 different colors, as Ron mentioned, and the hook too. The hook is so important. Ron, you mentioned that.
Rapala is using a VMC black nickel hook, and what a sharp hook. How important is that, Tony?
Oh, it's everything. Especially when you're fishing a small bait, you got to have sharp hooks. And there's sticky hooks on those crankbaits, so they work really well.
Yeah, and again, we're talking to Tony Roach, talking about Rapala's. He's a member of the Rapala Pro staff. When I asked somebody, I wanted to talk to someone who could tell me, and Bob Ringer is my media contact, tell me about Rapala's new slab wrap, and he put me right on Tony. I said, well, Tony lives up north. I said, doesn't make any difference. I don't say, let's talk fish. Fish is fish when Ron comes down to it and everything. But
what else is there to talk about?
Yeah. Talk a little bit about when you guys, when you first get this, you guys get to test these before it ever. I know Rapala's always been noticed. I've even got some that have been autographed by the guy that actually made it before. And you guys really get a chance to. Was it something that you felt comfortable with that first cast?
To be 100% honest with you, I got it during the ice season. So
really?
Fishing it on open water,
yeah.
I was able to use it ice fishing first for crappies, and I fell in love with it. And then I couldn't wait till open water season, and as soon as the ice melted, we had open water, our crappies move in those back bays and coves.
Yeah.
And I started pitching this bait for crappies and catching tons of bass with it. I didn't even get a chance to fish walleyes with it until that following spring. And May came, and of course, for us, that yellow perch color for on any of our fisheries up here was just deadly on the walleyes. So, it was a true story, but I started fishing that bait in the winter, and that's how versatile that thing is. You can vertical jig it, you can cast it, you control it, you can do a lot of things with that bait. And like I said, it's kind of a hybrid, half crankbait, half jig.
Hey, I know we're talking about the slab wrap by Rapala, but they also have another new bait that's out, and that's the Rapala flat jig. What caught my eye about this?
What was it?
Is that's a bait that we can really use here in the Mid-South for not only bass in the wintertime, but right now in the fall with the water cooling down and the white bass are schooling up. Wow, what a way that you can catch double white bass at a time. That flat jig is pretty awesome, Tony.
Yeah, fish is really heavy. Again, it's a bait that you can use in a lot of situations. We use them for walleyes, catfish, white bass, largemouth in wintering areas, even smallies. And again, it has a lot of action, and it fishes heavier. it's almost the exact opposite of the slab wrap. The slab wrap falls slow.
Right.
Fish is more like a crankbait. This fish is like a jig on steroids. I mean, it just flips and turns, and that the bait basically does all the action for the angler. I mean, you pitch it out there, you snap that bait. I like to snap it on a loose line, so I'll rip it and then it fall just on a slack line and let that bait swim. That erratic action is almost like a dying bait fish, dying prey. At times, it almost looks like a crawdad as well. Yeah. And those fish just can't resist it.
Well, Tony, if any of our folks, and really, if you've never attempted to, the fish in the big lakes up there, so to speak, in Minnesota, the land of 1,000 lakes, and I can't pronounce even some of them. No, the Winnebagoshi, I know Lake of the Woods, and I've been, to Winnipeg and things like that. But if somebody wanted to book a trip with you, and we have some people down here on their bucket list is to ice fish. So how do they get in touch with you, Tony?
Yeah, we've got world-class smallie fishing. We got walleyes and, of course, ice fishing. They can get a hold of me at roachesguideservice.com.
There you go.
They can also Google Tony Roach Fishing and get a hold of me that way.
Well, Tony, thank you, buddy, for being with us this morning, and continued success up there, and we'll stay in touch because we got your number now, okay?
All right. Sounds great, guys. Have
Thank
a great
you, buddy.
weekend. Good luck fishing.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Tony Roach, the nephew of the great Gary Roach, Mr. Walleye.
That whole family is a fishing family.
It is.
We know a lot of fishing families, and we're going to talk about one here a little bit later.
Yeah, we are.
Today.
It's kind of a lead-in, isn't it?
Yeah. So
way to go, Ron.
it is so cool.
You got this down now.
It's so cool.
I think you may have a chance to stay around for a while here. All right, let's take a break on Outdoors with Larry Ray. We're going to come back and combine squirrels and fishing.
Yes, sir. And I'm going to encourage people to get involved.
Get involved. We'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790.
You can find out